Yes.
Then you get a job as an architect in New Jersey.
Lucky enough to get a job on the beach in
wow.
Jersey. Yeah, and
Big company or something?
small, which was even better.
That is
then
good.
I could get my little tentacles in
Right.
everything.
Climb the ranks or whatever.
Yeah, and this was my focus: early swimming, and helped me choose colleges. And then it was, all right, I want to be on the beach because I want to keep surfing. At that point, I had dabbled in the summers, and was obsessed with the ocean and waves and all that stuff.
Sure, yeah.
And I said I knew I wanted to be where I could surf, but I don't know. I didn't think I was ready for the West Coast, just distance-wise yet.
Okay.
And I think I might have been one of the only people in my actual class that got an architecture job. And
that's amazing.
Yeah. And one of the guys in the class that heard that, he's like, "Really? You did?" Like, it was that because I wasn't like the diehard guy,
right?
Staying,
but you probably had a personality, and they took note of that.
Athletics, I think, helped a lot with that too,
for sure, because that shows you can do multiple things and stay focused or whatever.
Focus and all that stuff.
Being a student athlete is that's a big thing on a resume.
I think it is more so than I think I was aware of at the time because I was just caught up in it.
Yeah.
But no, and looking back at it now as I'm getting older, it's, if I had my own business, it would definitely stand out, and it sets, it's a way to separate people with drive and there's other ways to do it too.
Yeah, totally. So what are you doing at this architect firm?
Are you basically there was 2 registered architects.
Right.
The principal, which was his name on the shingle.
Yep.
And they had been in business for 10 years while I was there. They cusped that, which is always a big milestone to surpass in your own small business.
Right.
And there was, I think, 2 of us underneath and then a secretary. So we did everything from, thumbnail sketches of, it was a lot of residential remodels and,
sure.
and some more, it was more residential based, which is where kind of my interests lie anyway.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
In that stuff.
Well, you mentioned that was your favorite.
Yeah.
Did you do any boardwalks? Is that a thing?
I'm sure it is. I don't know how much architects.
I'm picturing the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, it's just very it was we finished the drawings in two minutes, just lines,
boards. Here you are, sir.
I mean, I guess
$10,000.
Yeah, I don't know if boardwalks, if governments are coming to. It might be more of an engineering just. It would be lucky if architects. Right. There was a big grand scheme.
Right. Yeah.
What's going on? But no, more. They did a little bit of commercial.
Yeah.
But a lot of higher end.
So how long did you do that for?
2.5 years. I was at that firm.
It's a good amount of time.
Yeah. And honestly, it was after the first year, my boss and I weren't getting along.
Uh-oh.
And I was letting my lease run out. And I was ready to go, and I was going to spend the summer at my grandparents' on the beach in Maryland, and then move out to California on my own just because I knew I kind of wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with acting. I just was drawn to California.
And the water.
Surfing and stuff. And I remember I was sitting in the one of the principal's office on his computer when he wasn't there working, and the boss basically came in and rectified whatever issue we had, and I literally was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I let my lease run out. I was planning on leaving," and he kind of got a stone look on his face, and okay, well, let me know what you decide, and we'll take it from there.
Oh, wow!
So I was in it for, found another place that was right off the beach, which is kind of a special thing for an ocean lover, even if you don't surf, but if you love the ocean, if you can at some point do it. We lived half a block off the beach.
It's crazy.
And if you can watch the ocean and just see it every day, it was a really incredible experience.
Yeah.
Especially as a surfer, to be able to interact on that level and see it change shapes throughout the day, and all the seasons, and it was really, really cool. And then the job started going really well.
Funny.
And it was one of those things that I was this close.
Right.
I literally could have stayed there and house, wife, kids.
Right.
Been there for the rest of my life, and I knew I didn't want to. In the big picture, I knew I didn't want to stay in that thumbprint on a map.
Right.
You know, I was aware that I wanted to explore on a bigger scale. And I told myself, because you see it a lot in those small little towns, that every 6 months, couple months, I would evaluate where I was and where I wanted to go, just so I wouldn't be caught up on that bar stool with 10 years past.
Yeah.
Like, how did I end up here?
It's a good idea.
You know, and it was just an effort to kind of keep me moving forward in a way that I wanted. I wanted to be like proactive in my life versus reactive and just being like
passive.
Oh yeah.
So is that what happened then after 2.5 years? You were like, all right, I just got to do it?
2.5 years, my buddy that I swam with in college, he called me up. He's like, Foxy, I got a job, California. I'm like, you fucker. All right, give me the summer to set myself up. And I knew it right away. I'm like, I'll see you out there.
That's amazing.